guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to be bringing to you an easy to make recipe that's low carb. It can be made ahead. It's great for packing and sending it to your kids' lunches or even taking it to work for yourself as a nice healthy lunch. I'm going to teach you how to make my mini spinach and feta frittatas. They're basically little spinach omelets, spinach and feta omelets that are pre-portioned and super delicious. Of course, I'm going to serve them with tzatziki, but I'm also going to serve them with some pan-roasted tomatoes, which are going to be sweet and just delicious. Let's go over the ingredients so we can start. We're going to need some olive oil, some fresh baby spinach, onion, some feta cheese, a clove of garlic, salt, pepper, eggs, heavy whipping cream, and then the tomatoes. And there's a few more ingredients that are going to go in with tomatoes. We'll get to those in a little bit. We're going to begin by chopping up this onion, and it's a pretty big onion. All you need is a small onion about this size. I'm going to save this for later for a different recipe. And I'm just going to finely chop it. Like all good recipes start, we're gonna put our onions into the pan with some olive oil, and I'm gonna sprinkle some salt over the onions. This is gonna help them wilt down and release their juices. Now we're gonna cook these over medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes or until they soften. So while we're waiting for the onions to cook, I'm just gonna go ahead and roughly chop this baby spinach. Now go ahead and grate the garlic. The onions are ready, so this is going to go straight into the pan. And we're just going to warm it through just a few seconds. That's good. Now go ahead and add all of your chopped spinach. It looks like a mountain right now, but it is going to wilt down and become almost nothing. After about 2 or maybe 3 minutes max, the spinach will have wilted down to, look at this, almost like a quarter of what it was. Just continue to cook it down a little bit more. It's going to release more juices, and you just want it to dry up just a little bit. Also go in and season it with some black pepper, a little bit of salt. And once the spinach has cooked down to this amount, I'm going to take it off of the heat. So while the spinach mixture is cooling, I'm going to combine all of my eggs. And I like to do it in a bowl or a pitcher that has a spout so that I can just pour this into my little muffin cups when it's ready. So I'm cracking 8 large eggs in here. This is going to make 12 little frittatas. And I'm going to season the eggs. I find that half a teaspoon of salt is just the right amount. And then I'm going to add some freshly cracked black pepper. And to make these extra rich and decadent, I'm going to add a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. And now I'm just going to whisk this all together. So make sure you beat the eggs very well. You don't want to have stringy pieces of egg white in there. You want these to pour into the little muffin cups very evenly. So just take a little bit of time. It just takes a few extra seconds, and just beat it until it's very nice and liquidy. This is a 12-cup muffin tin that I've lined with little cupcake liners. This is a must. Make sure you do that. Now we're going to go ahead and divide the spinach mixture evenly into these cups. So I would say go with about a tablespoon in each cup. Now's the time to add the feta cheese. Just go ahead and crumble it into each cup. I think about a tablespoon of crumbled feta cheese is just the right amount, but you go ahead and put as much as you'd like. And I'm just going to give the egg mixture another quick whisk, and I'm going to divide the egg mixture evenly between the cups. Now trust me when I tell you that you're going to want to line your muffin tin with the parchment paper. I have tried it so many different ways, and it sticks like crazy each time. I did not put the parchment paper in. I buttered it lightly. I changed the temperatures. I read on different websites on the internet that if you raise the temperature, then the egg doesn't stick. If you butter the tin really, really well. And trust me, when I tell you I buttered it really well, I buttered it over and over again. And each time the frittatas came out of the oven, they were hard to take out of the tin even after they cooled. And then I spent about 20 minutes scrubbing the cooked on egg out of the muffin tins. No fun, especially when you're trying to do something that's going to save you time, like meal prepping and things like that. The last thing you want to do is spend 20 minutes scrubbing in the kitchen sink. So use the parchment liners. The frittatas are ready to go in the oven. Make sure that you preheat it to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake them in the center rack for about 15 to 18 minutes. At the 15-minute mark, go in and insert a toothpick into the center, and if it comes out moist but fully cooked, then go ahead and take them out. They are going to continue to cook a little bit more as they sit. Usually 18 minutes is the perfect time. I'll show you what they look like as soon as they come out. So next we're going to make the pan roasted tomatoes, and this recipe is coming to you from my cookbook, The Brunch Table, which you can get on Amazon as a paperback like I have over here, or you can download it as a digital download as an ebook from my website. So on the breakfast pizza recipe, I've served these delicious roasted tomatoes with it, and I thought that they would go wonderful with these frittatas too. So they're very simple. All you do is take some cherry or grape tomatoes and you put them in a pan. So you can do this in the oven too, in a baking tray, but I'm just gonna do it over here with a little bit of olive oil. Turn the heat on medium-high. Season with some black pepper. This is so simple, but it has so much flavor. And some salt, of course. And we're just gonna cook them for a few minutes until they begin to blister and they're gonna get nice and soft. While that's happening, I'm gonna finely chop my scallions, which are gonna be the garnish. I'm using the green part today because they're gonna go on as a garnish, but if you like the white, you can go ahead and finely slice the white part as well. So to get all the grit out of the scallions, just put them in a bowl of cold water and then just move them around. All the dirt will fall to the bottom. And then just take the scallions out. You put them in a little strainer like this just to kind of get rid of that excess moisture on them. Give them a little shake. And then you just set them aside until we're ready to use these as a garnish. The tomatoes are cooking. I can hear them sizzling a little bit. Now you just want to make sure when you're making these that you're just looking for them to get a little bit blistered. That's just going to take about 5, maybe 6 minutes. And just shake the pan around so that way they can move around and cook evenly on all sides. As soon as you're going to see, you can hear them pop. As soon as you see that they're blistered all around, take them off the heat because we're not making a sauce. You don't want these to melt on you. You want them to still have a little bit of a bite to them. And just like that, the tomatoes are done. As you can see, they're blistered all around. They've changed color. And now we're just going to go ahead and add all of the scallions. Mix it all around, take it off the heat. The frittata is baked in exactly 18 minutes. That's usually how long it takes for my oven to bake these every single time. But again, every oven bakes at different temperatures and it has hot spots and this and that. So at the 15-minute mark, go in and insert a toothpick into the center of one of the frittatas. And if it comes out clean, that's how you know it's ready. You want to let them cool a little bit before you go to take them out so that way they can set and so that way you also don't burn yourself. This is a delicious meal to serve alongside with these tomatoes. The whole thing barely took an hour to put together. Call some friends over for brunch and enjoy this meal. I'm gonna go in and take a little bite. Give me spinach and feta and anything, you guys. It is so delicious. The feta makes it really creamy and tangy at the same time. The spinach, even though it's not creamy, it always adds a level of creaminess to a dish. It's very mild and delicious. The onion adds that really nice sweetness. I think you guys are gonna love it. If you want to switch up the vegetables, feel free to do so. Instead of the spinach, you can saute some zucchini. You could even do some potatoes if you're not keeping it low carb. Whatever your favorite vegetable is, just go ahead and saute it a little bit with some onions, a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, and make any flavor frittata that your heart desires. I think you guys are gonna really love this recipe. Head on over to the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com, to print it. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I will see you all next time. Yes, us.